Mister.
Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a guide for round 5 of the Nations Cup with the KTM crossbow. Let's get this started. For this first turn, brake before you reach the 100 meter mark. You can also use the obstacle that is on the left inside the box as your braking point. You'll be trail braking a little bit and gently apply the throttle. The thing is, at the moment you start to apply full throttle on this car, especially if you do it suddenly, the car will start to squirm around, and you want to make sure that you have control of your car at all times. Then you'll need to brake before you reach the 200 meter mark. Brake as much as you can in a straight line, and the moment you start to turn, you start to slowly ease off the brakes. For this section over here, you must do a lot of throttle control to make sure that the car doesn't want to oversteer. Right here is where you should shift into 4th gear and slowly apply more throttle. Straighten the car out before you start to fully accelerate and get ready to do some counter steer. Then brake when you reach the 50 meter mark and trail brake for quite a bit and carefully apply the throttle. This is another part where the car tends to get a little squirmy, so you want to be careful. Then take all this tunnel at full throttle, and you want to be very gentle with your steering, as it can be pretty easy for this car to get really unstable, especially through here. The car can also get unstable here as well, so you want to be gentle on the steering and get ready to do some counter steering if needed. Then brake right after the wall on the left starts, and you need to brake early as you're going just over 170 miles an hour. Try not to touch the curbs on the inside, and just take your time getting the car to rotate, and once your car is almost done turning, that's where you can start to apply the throttle. Then you will brake before you reach the 50 meter mark, and you'll trail brake a bit through here, and then this section is all about throttle control. And also try not to steer too suddenly to make sure that the car doesn't get unstable. Then brake at the 50 meter mark and take your time slowly starting to accelerate through here, and make sure that the car is stable before you start to fully accelerate, and you are good to go. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about the strategies. Alright, before I talk about the strategies, I need to mention again about how you need the car to be stable at all times, especially through here. It's really easy for the car to get unstable, and with the weight added from the fuel and the tire wear, it's going to become an even bigger problem. So as you see here, I have to counter steer a lot just to try to keep the car from hitting the wall. And one last thing before I talk about the strategies is where the pit stop is. It's at the hairpin over here. The car is pointing right at the pit entry, and yeah, now you know where the pit stop is. As for the strategies itself, both of them you'll be pitting at around the same time. It's just that the way you start is up to you. You can start with medium tires in the front, hard in the rear, or start with only hard tires. Whichever one you start with, you'll run about 3 to 4 laps with them. So during lap 3 or lap 4, whichever you choose, that's when you go into the pit stop. Go for medium tires. Don't refuel at all, since you don't have to worry about fuel, and go ahead and complete the race. And you want to try to take care of your tires, especially when you're coming out of the hairpins, as you can get the rear tires to spin quite a bit, especially if you're on lower gears, which will wear out the back tires more. It can become a problem, especially in a downhill section when you're in the tunnel. And because of that, that's kind of why I don't mention about only doing the race on racing hard tires without ever going to the pit stop, because especially if you have the rear tires spin quite a bit, it's only going to hurt you in the long run, and you don't want that. You don't want to get penalties from hitting the walls and sliding into other players. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the strategies. This one's a lot more straightforward. I don't want to talk too much since I'm really sick. And yeah, I'm gonna sign off. So this is Mr. MCA, wishing you a good race and good health, and I'll see you in the next video.